Hey, Tiny T here, getting ready to set up a printer. I'm up at Tiny T, didn't have a printer up here that was working. I did have a little inkjet printer, but when I checked on the prices of the cartridges, they're a little over $80 for the two cartridges that it needed, and then there's no guarantee that they'll work or how long they'll work, and if you let it sit for very long, they dry up. So I thought, well, let me check the price of the toner printers that take a toner cartridge, and for $10 more, $10 to $20 more, I get a laser printer all in one that does printing, copying, and scanning. So went ahead and picked up this little Samsung. It was, I think, $99, something like that, on sale at Walmart. They had a couple others for $89 that were a little bit cheaper, but they had a Brother printer, which I kind of like, but it didn't have the all-in-one. I thought, well, I may use this at church, depending on how it goes here. But anyway, I'm going to unbox this and get it set up and let you know what I think about this one. It's a Samsung Xpress M2070W. So it's a Wi-Fi one. Not a real big fan of Wi-Fi. I like the networking ones. That's what I have at home as a color laser. That works real well. But this one's a Wi-Fi, and I'll just see how it is to set up and how easy to use. All right, I'll be back shortly. Okay, I'm back after getting it out of the box. You can see there's a couple cords here. It looks like a USB cord, and that's kind of nice because the other printer I looked at didn't have the USB cord. Now it costs you $10, so that comes with it. And then a power cord here, a CD with the drivers, and then the printer. I don't see a toner cartridge yet, but it may be inside someplace. So hopefully it came with a toner cartridge. I did pick up one just in case. So if so, some of those others usually come with a starter cartridge, not a full one. But let me finish taking the tape. You got some tape and stuff on these and some packing material, and I'm going to take off, and I'll get that off and come back and see what we have. Thought I'd show you this. There's some tape that was taped down here, holding this cover up here. I had a couple pieces of tape, and this one goes up inside there, and I was kind of looking, wasn't real obvious that come up, but I did find where you can grab hold there, right here. You can see that, and pull that up, which gets you down inside where there's some more packing material, and it does have a starter cartridge down in there. Kind of hard to see it down there, but in the dark. And so let me finish taking that out, and I think I got to take that orange tab off of that and probably pull that tape out of the toner cartridge before we can use it. Okay, I pulled the toner cartridge out of there, and you can see there's a orange deal down there and that blue tape still, so I'm going to have to pull that out. And let me grab that. See that? Looks like that just pulls straight out of there. There we go. Didn't have to force that or anything, just had to move it around until it come loose. And that gets discarded. And you got the cartridge here. Usually they have a tape on one end or the other that you have to pull out, but I always look at the instructions. They show pulling that out of there and just shaking it back and forth from the end, so I'll do that. And that's just to make sure that toner kind of gets spread out. And then we slip it back down in here. And that should be ready to go. I didn't see any more packing material down there. Let's see if there's anything on the back. And don't see anything on the back here. So it looks like we're good to go ahead and get powered up here. So I'm going to go ahead and get it plugged in, and we'll go from there. Okay, just plugged it in here. Got the paper put in the front. Pulled this out for the paper when it prints out. And press the power button right here, that black one, right next to the red one. And it's going through an initialization. Not a backlit display there. I have a Brother printer like that, and boy, they're just hard to see sometimes when they're not backlit to see those screens. Got enough light here, it's not a problem. If you got any little bit of a low light, it's not quite so good. So anyway, I'll see if there's any settings to turn on a backlit on that, but I don't think there is. So anyway, let's pay for a little cheaper printer. You have a few things that aren't quite as well, but I'll let that initialize, and then I'll go ahead and see about installing the print drivers, see if they're on here. Sometimes Windows 8 they just install automatically and without any trouble. So that's what's on my laptop, and this is wireless with a Wi-Fi. on it, but my experience with most of these Wi-Fi printers is you have to connect first with a USB printer and install the drivers, or with a USB cable, and install with this one where it plugs in directly, install the drivers, and then it'll work wirelessly after that. But usually you got to plug it into whatever computer you're going to use first, at least one, to get everything set up. Okay, I put in the CD and it popped up here. Click on it to do what you want. I'm going to run this setup.exe file and we'll see what happens there. I haven't connected this with a USB cable to the printer yet. I'm waiting to see what happens with it. Say yes. Hopefully this doesn't waste too much of your time. If it takes a little bit of time, I'll edit it out. Okay, welcome. I've reviewed. Yes, next. USB connections. Okay, we're going to try wireless network connection. Connect the printer to the same wireless network as this computer. Okay, and let me go check the settings on the printer. I may have to put in a code for the wireless here before, because I have a key, a security key that you have to put in. I probably have to put that in on the printer before it can connect through the wireless. So we give that a try. I could put in the USB cable and connect right away, but I just want to try that wireless out just to see how that works, that part of it. Okay, I didn't see anything on the printer before I could put in a security code, but I did read down here. It says if your printer is not connected to wireless network, the installer will help you set up the wireless. So let's just click next and see what happens. Yes, I'll set up my printer's wireless network because it's not connected yet. So it must have a way to connect through the Wi-Fi. Use a direct wireless connection. Give that a try. Turn the printer on, wait until the printer is ready, and click the next button. It's on. Be impressed if it's able to give it the settings from the computer. That's pretty good. And on software, if it does all that. So far it's configuring. I'll come back after that's finished, and so you don't sit here and waste time. Okay, it says setup successfully completed a wireless network setting, a connection printer to your PC. So we'll click next. Checking for the latest version of software for your computer. Okay, it's got all the stuff I need there, it looks like, to install, so it's doing that. Use genuine Samsung toner. I bought an extra cartridge just to be sure that I'd have enough in case this was a starter cartridge. I always hate running out, so I usually keep one in stock. I have another Xerox printer, the color laser. Those are kind of expensive. I did find a place where I can get them a little bit cheaper, but they're usually $200 for each cartridge, and it takes 4 cartridges. Nice thing is I only have to replace them about once every 2 years, so that works out pretty good. Okay, we'll pause here a little bit while this is installing those files. Okay, it's finished installing. That probably took about between 5 or 10 minutes. I didn't time it, but always seemed like forever when you're waiting. I'm going to have it try and print a test page here just to see, and click on finish. And we'll see if it prints the test page. Yeah, it sounds good here. It got the signal. Man, it printed that out pretty fast. So I'm pretty happy. That was a pretty painless installation. And while I was watching the installation files, they run some ads and stuff on there. And one of the things they kind of got my interest was there's a mobile app I can download and print directly from my cell phone. So I'll probably try that later on another time. But anyway, it looks like everything's set up and going. Pretty painless. Seemed like print speed was really quick and print out that test page like nothing. It is on a toner saver mode, econo mode, so that's why it's a little bit light printing. I can change that to where it's darker on anything I print if I want to, but I'll probably leave that for what I'm doing. I don't need to have a real high quality print. So anyway, kind of happy with the purchase, and that's the Samsung Extreme, I think it was. Express. Samsung Express. Alright, Tiny T signing out. Y'all have a good day, and have a happy new year.